Hello, so I'm still quite sick. I don't think that I'm in the centre of the camera either, but I don't care. Yeah, so I'm still sick from last week, and that means that if there's like cutting in this video, if my voice goes weird and then there's a cut, it means I probably had a really bad coughing fit and I probably like choked. Yeah, so I said instead of a video where I felt like I had to have a lot of energy, I would have a little chat. I have one of the many cups of tea that I'm going to drink today, and this is my second one today already, and I would just talk about mental health. And the reason why I thought of this was because I was like, okay, what can I do today to make myself feel better? I started thinking about like what I used to do when I was having like poor mental health, when my mental health was in general a lot lower and I was struggling a lot more to cope, and what I do nowadays to help my mental health. And I thought it would kind of be comforting to anyone who's like struggling a bit more to compare the two, to see like, even if you're never finished struggling with mental health, that you do get better at handling it and kind of preventing it from getting worse. And just also like my tips and what I do. These are not necessarily what I'm doing today, because I'm just sick, so I just can't function that much. But yeah, so I have a little list. I'm going to go through it and try to not to ramble too much because my throat's struggling already. So I have a little list. I think I'm going to start off on a more positive note on what I currently do, like as a mental health routine. So when I'm feeling like kind of crap or something happened and I don't want it to like really affect me, and my go-to lately has been CBD oil, which I'm not going to go on about it because so many people go on about it, but I have seen like the effects of CBD oil for many different people for many different reasons, and it does work. It's not like a craze, unless it's like the most successful placebo effect I've ever seen. I've seen people like who are like say going through chemotherapy and it's helping with the symptoms of that. Once I saw that I was kind of like, okay, this must work if it can ease like treatment symptoms. So if I feel like I'm going through like a bit of a phase of poor mental health, I will take it every day. I normally only take 3 drops. I used to take 5 and then someone told me like that's a lot, you shouldn't have started off with that. So between 1 to 3 drops is normally what people are supposed to start off with. But then some people just take it when they're feeling bad. So if I'm not like taking it for a period, but I wake up one day or I just like get a little bit of anxiety and I feel like I need it, I do take it, and I do feel like it helps, and then I might follow it up for the next few days. I just kind of have like a supply of it there in case I need it. Also the lighting is changing a lot. It goes from like really nice to really cold. So yeah, CBD oil really helps. It can be expensive, and there are loads of different ways to take it, so maybe look into it, because I know that I've seen the benefits of it. Anyway, the second one is a cup of tea or a hot chocolate or just something to make you feel warm. Tea is great for me feeling sick right now because it's like just warm on my throat. It like physically makes me feel warm inside. If you have like say mint tea or something like that, which I've been having as well, you feel like you're doing something really good for yourself, or like you're having sleepy tea with like lavender and chamomile to help you go to sleep. You can also put honey in it. You can put honey in any type of tea, and I feel like honey is really comforting for me because I know I'm doing something good, and I think probably because of Winnie the Pooh it feels like really pure, and like because of bees it feels really like nice and sweet. So, and yeah, I feel like that all goes in the thing of self-care, like tiny little things that you can do for self-care, and that definitely helps with my mental health. I like bright clothes and cozy jumpers, so this is a very bright shirt. It's vintage, it's from my family, which I also find really comforting, and it reminds me of like maybe the 90s or the 80s. It reminds me of like a while ago when fashion was different and I really liked it, and I kind of try to dress to that, but also it reminds me of my family, which I really love and find really comforting. And then also it feels like you're getting a nice warm hug a lot of the time. It just makes you feel so much more cozy. I'm watching Netflix or YouTube with a lamp on, so I like to turn off the big lights and to put on a lamp near my bed. If you have a soft lamp, that's great. I used to, and then I moved and I just never got it from my mum says. But soft lamps are amazing for mental health. I found that they really help mine, and maybe that's where the idea comes from of something comforting. So I always associate like certain lighting with being really cozy, and that's really comforting for me. And then Netflix and YouTube, what you're consuming has a big effect on your mental health and how you feel. So I'll put on like certain YouTubers that make me feel comforted, or like kind of uplifted or better, and then Netflix shows that I'm familiar with and feel comfortable with. Getting cuddled is another one. I used to not be able to do this as often, but I can do it now. So if I'm kind of feeling a bit bad, I can ask my boyfriend if he wants to stay over, and I just have always felt better sleeping in a bed with someone else, because a lot of my anxiety comes to me at night time. So having someone to cuddle there at night or someone to hold, it really helps, because I disassociate, which is not me making it up, that's what my therapist told me. And having someone that I can physically feel beside me kind of brings me back into reality. So preferably it would be another person, often my boyfriend, just because that's how things go. But also if he's not available, a pet, which I don't do anymore but I used to be able to do. I can also like use a teddy. I have teddies that I always get in Disneyland and they have really nice memories for me. I'll often put like certain smells on them to make me feel better, and sometimes even just a pillow. Like if I'm somewhere where I don't have any of my comfort things, if I cuddle a pillow I feel better, because it's just the act of like holding something somehow brings comfort to me. I did read it somewhere when I was like anxious and my mental health was worse, and it's something that I still do today if I'm not feeling great, or even if I just can't get to sleep. It just helps a lot. So cuddles, lavender is the next one that I have written. So obviously lavender is a really comforting smell. It can relax you and help you be really sleepy. I have like blush products that smell like lavender, which help. I have lavender from France that really helps, and I have certain like scents like perfumes, so particularly my lavender and tangerine oil scented perfume from Lush that I always wear when I go to Paris. Always comforts me, brings back good memories and everything, so I really love to have that around, like to smell to help me feel better, or like a shirt from my boyfriend or something like that. There's loads of smells, so I would try and find a smell that comforts you, and definitely try and like use that next time you're not feeling great. A chat with my mum or either of my nannies. They are all really great people to talk to when you're not feeling well. They're great to vent to, and then at the end of it they're kind of like, well, they'll like comfort me or whatever, and then they'll turn around and be like, okay, now you have to get on with things, and it makes it a lot easier too. Or they might have a story that'll help me. Then my best friend is like amazing in any kind of situation like that, so she's another great person to talk to, especially if it's like an actual situation more than a feeling. Like she'll do whatever she can to fix it. Smiling or dancing in the mirror. This is one that I used to never do, but honestly putting on like some Queen or some Elton John, some Lizzo, which I just discovered recently. Like I knew about her but I didn't listen to her. It's really good for boosting your mood. I'm a big fan of that. That's a really good one. I always try to smile whenever I see myself in the mirror. It really is good for my confidence. So definitely try to smile at yourself as much as possible. Looking at vlogs or film that I've gotten developed and printed, like photos, really helps. That is one of the main reasons why I try to vlog, because it just brings it all back and it genuinely boosts your mood. So try to record the good times in your life as much as possible so you can look back on them. The last thing I have down currently is watering plants. So it just kind of makes me feel like I'm responsible, I'm helping something grow, and it's like new life, so it's really, really good for like making me feel more pure and like I'm looking after something else, and that's looking after myself. So all these things are really simple, but my mental health is a lot better than it used to be, so that's why they can be so simple. And I just wanted to go back to my old routine. Like obviously these are routines, but they're things that help, or things that I used to go through, like the motions I used to go through. So to reflect on my old ones, I used to sleep during the day if I was like in my lower state of mental health. I often used to fall asleep during the day if I wasn't feeling great, and normally this was after a lot of crying, which is the second point. So crying really takes it out of you, so I would have to go for a sleep after I had like a panic attack or anything else. So it's just really draining. Your mental health can be really draining, hence why I wouldn't get up and go for a run or get up and tidy my room, because I was so tired that I had to sleep, and I don't sleep during the day normally. If I'm sick or anything else I will, but when my mental health was bad I used to sleep during the day. I used to not so much sleep in, because I was bad at sleeping at night, but I used to have to sleep a lot during the day. I started to avoid caffeine and alcohol, which I still do today. I don't do the sleeping during the day thing because I don't feel the need to. I do avoid caffeine a lot, and the only time I have caffeine is on a Friday because I have college and then I'm at work till the evening. That's it. I know my limits with caffeine. And with alcohol, I used to avoid it when I was quite bad. I haven't been quite bad in a while, so I haven't had to, but I am trying to like cut down on drinking because I just don't really want to, but that's a whole other story. Nothing like terrible happened, I just don't see the appeal in it at the moment. I'm going through a phase. I started on magnesium. I would take powdered magnesium and magnesium supplements, which they're really good for your nervous system and for energy and everything, but I would see a big link, similar to caffeine, between if I miss my magnesium and my anxiety, or I would have an anxiety attack a few days later. So when my situation improved and my mental health improved thereafter, I did stop the magnesium, or like phase it out, because I thought that I was way too dependent on it. And then being veggie and playing with my dog, so I used to like remind myself that I was vegetarian and that I was doing something really good for the planet. This was something that like I very much relate to my mental health, like being vegetarian, and it used to just make me feel like more in touch with nature, which was really, really comforting at the time. When I would play with my dog when I was like upset in the evenings on my kitchen floor, I used to feel more connected to him, which made the experience a lot better. So that's a really weird one. I have heard of being vegetarian and vegan being positive for people's mental health, but I don't know, it's not a very common thing. But not eating meat is like a thing that makes me feel a lot better and a lot more proud of myself. So I would definitely give it a go. It's really good for the environment. Funny how that snuck its way into this video, but yeah, I would definitely give it a go and see if it helps you. But obviously don't be restrictive, because the last thing you want when you're feeling mentally low is to restrict your diet and for that to start impacting your mental health negatively. Just live within the means of what you can manage at the time. So that's everything. I feel like my mental health is just so much more easier to deal with now. While I feel like I have a lot more structure and I know how to deal with it a lot better, I don't know exactly if that's how I would approach like if situations arose again to make my mental health be a lot poorer. I don't necessarily know if I'd be able to cope as well as I'm able to cope with it now. It would just probably be a lot more difficult, but I do think I would cope better than I did before when my mental health was bad, because I've come out the other side of it and I know how to kind of stop it before it gets too bad. So I would definitely be able to ease the blow of those situations that I was faced with before. but hopefully I'll never be faced with them again. But yeah, this was just a bit of a mental health chat, and I hope that if you are like going through a mental health low, you are able to cope with it, and I encourage everyone to really think about what helps them and comforts them, and to really like go for it, like sit down and make this list, and just anything wholesome and comforting that you can come up with, just have that list ready there. I know everyone's like, oh, do a breathing exercise, but everyone's different, everyone has different things that helps them, so try and find some really positive and comforting things that will help you the next time you need it. And thank you for listening to me while I'm sick. I really appreciate it, because I'd say my voice sounds a bit horrible. So I'm gonna go now. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice day.